What's up, gang? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group, and it is September 24th. We're finishing the day green with a trade in Roku, but it was not to the short side, what many of you may be thinking. If you follow my channel, you know that over the last couple of trading sessions on Wednesday, we had a big short in Roku. On Friday, we had a big short in Roku. Didn't trade it yesterday, and then today, I actually made like 4 or 5 points, but to the long side. The lesson I'm going to go over with you guys today is a little bit more of an advanced technical lesson that I'm going to get into with you in a second on this Roku. Before I do that, let's talk about the SPY real quick. We sold off on the SPY today, guys, because the Nancy Pelosi in the House has moved forward with an impeachment inquiry against President Trump. Before it was impeachment for Russia, now it's impeachment for Ukraine. What does this mean? Nothing really. It's the Senate is going to have to convict for impeachment, and unless there is a glaring smoking gun, I can't see the Senate convicting on impeachment. There's a lot of talk about this phone call between the president and the president of Ukraine that Trump actually came out and said that he authorized the release of the fully unredacted transcript of that phone call because he's confident that he didn't do anything wrong or abuse his power during that phone call. There's thoughts that the president threatens to withhold military funding and military aid to Ukraine if the president did something that would have helped Trump politically. So that is kind of what I believe that the Democrats are really using to push that impeachment. But Trump is saying that he didn't do that. You also had the president of Ukraine actually gave a public statement not too long ago, just a couple of days ago, gave a public statement that that wasn't what happened. And now you have Trump saying that he authorizes the issue of the actual transcripts of the phone call. So here is when the news of and the headlines about impeachment really started to take place. You see the big sell-off in the market, and then right here is when Donald Trump said, "I authorized the release of the transcripts of the phone call." You see the market bounce back, but then we kind of gave that all back. And what I actually did before I get into that Roku trade, I actually bought a couple of SPY put options. Nancy Pelosi just got done speaking. She gave the official statement at 5 p.m. Eastern time, announcing the impeachment inquiry. And I just thought to myself before the close, right here, guys, right here, I bought 295 strike tomorrow expiration put options at 77 cents. And I just thought, because I just can't imagine that she's going to say anything during her speech that was going to rally the market. I thought she was going to be very stern and decisive. I thought she was going to talk about cold, hard facts and, we're moving forward with impeachment inquiry because, we've got him dead to right. And I really didn't hear a lot of that in her speech. That's why the market hasn't moved. So it was just basically the same rhetoric. It was the same stuff that you heard during when we were talking about Russia and impeaching for that. It was the same stuff, but I thought she was going to be a lot more aggressive and a lot more decisive and stern in her speech. That maybe would have spooked the market to think that maybe there really is a chance of him getting impeached. If there is, if it starts to get out that there really is something here and there really is a chance of him getting impeached, the market will pull back considerably and significantly. We could see a very, very deep pullback if the market really thinks he's going to get impeached. Okay, we're still a long ways away from that. But this just adds a new factor to the news headlines you have to pay attention to. Obviously, we're paying attention to China. We're paying attention to Iran with what's going on with that, with oil and the attack on Saudi Arabia. We still got the Fed that's lingering. Are we going to cut again? Are we not going to cut again? And now you can just add this Ukraine impeachment right to the mix because, as you guys can see, one little headline, it wasn't even a headline, it was a tweet from Donald Trump saying, "I authorized the transcripts to be released," and bang, you get the market just shoots up 2 points like that. So just add this to the long list of potential news headlines that can move the market. It's good for us, creates volatility for us. We're day traders. I love it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how this unfolds. But I'm not really too sure now about the put options that I bought before the close. I was really buying them specifically to see if the markets moved lower when Pelosi spoke, but her speech is over and we haven't moved. And 294 is a major support level on the SPY. So I'll take you guys to the, here's 294. You guys can see 294 major level of previous resistance in August. Now expect that to be support. And you also have the 50-day moving average sitting there. So this wasn't really a technical trade. I do think the markets, has this nice support area there. I thought maybe just, on the impeachment scare, I thought the market was going to go lower. So I can't trade those options now after the market closes. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. Again, I got the 295 strike tomorrow. Expiration puts at 77 cents. We'll see what happens. It was just kind of like a little, I don't know. It was just a little trade. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But my money today, guys, was made in Roku. And this is when we're going to get into this more advanced technical lesson here on Roku. I actually bought this thing right there. That is where I bought Roku. And I'm going to preface this video first with saying, please listen up, because this is a little bit more of an advanced analysis, and I don't want new and inexperienced traders to mistakenly or misunderstand this setup and misunderstand what I'm going to say to you, because you might look at this and say, Mike, what are you, nuts for buying this thing right there? You were buying at the dead low of the day. It was a bear flag. I mean, it looks like you were trying to catch a falling knife. Looks like you were trying to pick a bottom, which are all things that I teach all of our TCG members not to do. This was a very calculated trade. It was a failed breakdown. Okay, this was a failed breakdown that was at a very key support level, and that's the main thing about this trade and about this lesson was the significance of that support level that we were sitting on. So let's get to this Roku trade, the daily chart. Okay, I had a big day short Roku here, and I had a big day short Roku here. These are daily charts. Go back and watch those videos. Big day, home run shorts. Okay. Yesterday we had this consolidation day. Let's go to a 3 minute. Let's kind of pull this back. So yesterday here was the home run short, and then we had the consolidation day yesterday, and then today we extended lower. Now yesterday we talked about Roku in chat being a sign of weakness, that we still were not able to bounce back, that we were still were not able to bounce back yesterday, and we just consolidated sideways and then kind of sold off there into the close. Today we had a little bit of a gap up, and we found resistance at the same area that we have had resistance at yesterday. You can see a little previous support here on Friday. You can see all that resistance. We got up there today, and again, once again, boom, resistance, and then Roku sold off again. Very weak sign for Roku here. But what I want to now talk to you guys about is I missed this entire down move. Okay, I missed this entire fall on Roku. And it was not until we started to put in this bear flag that I started looking for an entry in Roku, but not what you guys may be thinking to the short side. I was actually looking to the long side. And this is a very, very clear, obvious bear flag. Okay, very, very clear, obvious bear flag. And when I now go to the daily chart, I want to point out this level to you. Okay, right here. Here is your gap fill. Okay, you guys can see this gap was filled. Okay, and that is right around where we were sitting, around that $100 level. The $100 level is also a little bit of a psychological level. Okay, so when I'm looking at that, okay, let's pan this back out. Here we are. Okay, here's that line I just drew. That was the gap fill. And I'm thinking, if we break down out of this bear flag, we're breaking down and rolling over right into, okay, this support level. And I'm thinking to myself, if we can't take this low, I think we have a chance of seeing a nice bounce off of this level. And some of that goes back to this candle right there. That is a very strong hammer tail that you sometimes see at the bottom end of a downtrend before a stock has a bounce off that level. And you can also see that was the heaviest volume the stock traded the entire day, was within that candle. So when this bear flag started to form, it was that candle that started getting me thinking, maybe this is a good area to start to get long and catch a bounce in Roku. And then I start to see this bear flag start to form. And now I'm thinking to myself, this could be a perfect short trap in Roku, everyone's going to see this bear flag. And if this bear flag can't roll over and break through these lows, we could have that little bit of a bounce effect where everyone comes in and shorts this bear flag. It's a very clear bear flag. And then traders will sell into this bear flag, and they're going to sell right down into that support level that was the gap fill and the key $100 level. They're going to sell right down into it. And if that level does not break and you don't see acceleration to the downside, then all of those traders that got short and were selling into this move will exit their positions or cover their positions, and then you could have a potential almost like a double bottom move off of that support level, and then you can see some buying pressure step in at that support as selling pressure slows down. That's really what starts to happen. The momentum to the downside slowed down once that low of the day did not really break. That's why I got long, okay? And it's because I'm expecting that key level of support, which is right where we're trading. I'm expecting support there. So when we rolled this over and we broke, let me zoom this in. When we broke down out of this flag, okay, out of this bear flag, when we got down here, here's the low of the day. Okay, there's your low of the day. We broke out of the flag, we printed a new low, and then we put in this tail. Let me zoom in even further. We put in this tail, and then we bounced all the way back up. Then we break below the low, we put in this tail, we bounce back up. Then we break the low, we put in this tail, and we bounce all the way back up. These tails that started getting put in down here was kind of telling me that there's support down here. We're not accelerating to the downside. If this low does not break and we stick this low, we should recover from here. And I could be looking at like a 5-point move. And that's literally exactly what we got. My goal on this was to get back to Friday's lows. Okay, so here's this area of Friday's lows. Here, I'll draw a line across it. Okay, so there's Friday's lows. That was the area that I was looking for us to bounce back to. It's Friday's lows. So once we get down here, and I'm starting to say to myself, this low is not breaking. Okay, we break the low and then we take it back. We break the low, we take it back very quickly. Okay, now this is not to be analyzed on a 1-minute chart. Okay, tails like this on a 1-minute chart really aren't going to give you the same type of signal. I don't use 1-minute charts. I think only scalpers should use 1-minute charts. Those are traders that are looking to get in and out within seconds to minutes. That's not my style. So this candle analysis on a 1-minute chart is really not going to do you that much good. But for 3 consecutive 3-minute candles, that's 9 minutes worth, of trading action. We're tailing through that low and taking it back. So at this point, I'm saying, if the selling starts to slow down here, this could be a good area to get long, and that's exactly what I did. I got long right here, the top end of that candle. I'll take you guys to my trade announcements on the day, and here you guys can see long Roku at 99.54, risking about $1. And I was really risking below the low of the day. So here was the low of the day that was put in, and if we really broke through that low and accelerated to the downside, okay, then I would have exited that position. But I'm playing this for this area to hold and then take the low back and continue higher, and that's exactly what we got. And you guys can see we bounced it back in Roku all the way back up to where that same area that we were looking at, which was Friday's lows. That was the area we were looking for, the bounce back, and my final take profit was right there. Take you guys back to my trade announcements. Here you guys can see long at 99.54. I took some off at 170. Sold the bulk of my position at 101.65, and my final take profit at 103.30 for a nice little trade, guys. So here were my take profits. All right, so there they are. There are the 3 take profits on that trade. All right, but this was a very calculated trade. I'm risking about $1 to potentially make 4 or 5. Okay, I don't want new or inexperienced traders to take this lesson and then tomorrow see a bear flag, it breaks the low and then doesn't immediately collapse and you just get long because of this video. Please understand the significance of the support level that I thought we had beneath us. You also have to understand how fast that Roku has sold off. Okay, you're talking how this stock just went from $150 down to 100 in just a couple of days. Okay, from 150 down to 100 in just a couple of days. It happened very, very quickly. And, you know, with all that momentum to the downside, finally coming into this area of support, I thought this down move in Roku was overdone. I felt like it was a good area. I had the support level beneath me. I knew my stop loss. I knew my risk. And if that low of the day failed and we took it back, I thought that could be an area where you can start to see some buying step in, and then you get that little balance. That's exactly what we got. So I'm not saying this. That's why I started this video with saying this is a little bit more of an advanced analysis, because I don't want new traders and experienced traders to be like, oh, well, Mike said this, and then you go and you buy the low of the day in a stock tomorrow and it just rolls over. I didn't just buy the low of the day. Okay, I didn't buy the stock while it was still going down. Okay, I waited for that low to get put in and then saw that it could not break that low, was putting in these strong tails at the support level I'm looking at, and then I went ahead and got long. It was a calculated entry and a calculated trade. Okay, so I wanted to share this trade with you. I wanted to share this lesson and my analysis with you. But again, a little bit more of an advanced analysis. Be careful if you are a new trader, because I don't want you to just jump into a stock that's trading lower. All right, so that's it, guys. I'll see you all in chat tomorrow. Take care.